Hello everybody, it's Jess here with Blessed Jess. Thank you so much for watching. Welcome to, I think I'm going to call this like Let's Chat and Q&A. So I feel like I haven't talked to you guys in forever. I've still been posting daily, but it's been like grocery hauls, and we had a taste test go up today, and that is because I just have not felt good. I feel like this is a common thread on my videos. Like, I don't feel good. I don't feel good. I'm not sick. I think I just wore myself out last week. Last week I pushed so hard doing all the things for everybody, and I just was exhausted by the end of the weekend. Kind of got this chesty cough. A lot of times when I have a cold, I feel like it starts up here, like, my sinuses, and this time it's like in my chest. So I've just been like out of breath. You guys, did you hear it in my grocery haul video? I was like really out of breath, and I've been like that, like it's just not feeling good. I'm feeling a lot better today, so hopefully it's just working its way out. I know like the allergies are real bad, the pollen and all that. So I have taken the kids to school, or David's taken them to school Tuesday and Wednesday, and then I've gone right to bed and like pretty much slept and just rested for hours, which is just not like me at all. But it's been nice, and I'm glad that I have the chance to do that when I need to. So I was trying to decide what to film today. I am working on a recipe video that should probably be up in the next day or two. But I wanted to do a video to put up for tomorrow, and I couldn't decide what to do. And I thought, hey, I'll just chat with you guys while I'm waiting on the kids. I got here a little bit early so that I can talk to you guys, and they should be coming out in a little while. So I have this free time to just sit here and talk to you guys. So I did put a few questions on Instagram. I thought we could chat for a little while, and then I could answer some questions. I only did it a few hours ago, so there's not a ton of questions, which is really good, because when I have a ton of questions, it takes way too long because I talk too much. If you're not following me on Instagram, I've been posting a lot of behind the scenes stuff, or like, the assumptions video I did, which I got such great feedback for. Thank you so much. I was really nervous to post that video. I felt like I sounded so negative. I didn't want to sound negative, but you guys were so encouraging and so sweet and said I did such a good job, and that really made my day. So thank you so much. If you're not following me on Instagram, my handle is BlessedJess86, and I would love to have you follow me over there. But I did post some questions on here, so we're going to go through those in just a minute. But how has everybody's week been? The weekend, I feel like spring is here in Georgia. It's still a little cool in the morning, so it kind of makes it hard because I'm dressing the kids warm, but then by the afternoon it's really warm, and they're like, taking their jackets off and stuff. But I just need to get caught up on life. I feel like if I take a day or two and I don't do much housework, I don't do much laundry, I have stayed on top of my dishes, and that's been about it. I've still unloaded and loaded the dishwasher. That is my bare minimum when I'm sick, bare minimum. That's what I'm going to do. But I haven't stayed on top of laundry. I think I've done like the kids' laundry once in the last few days, and that's it. So I've got to get back in the routine. That was going so well, and then it just has fallen apart in the last few days because I just haven't felt good, and I've taken the time for myself. I'm not going to feel guilty about it. And yeah, I feel like if I don't take time to rest and get better, then it just makes me sicker for longer. It hasn't been like a sick, just kind of an annoying cough and just exhausted feeling. So anyway, yeah, like last night I was so exhausted. David didn't get home till 10 o'clock last night because he was at a meeting, and I woke up this morning and I still had my contacts in, and I always, like, that has never happened because usually they're so dry and irritated just by the end of the day. So I am so excited to take them off. I was so out of it, I didn't even realize I didn't take them off. It's just like one of those weeks. So anyway, let's get into some of these Instagram questions. You guys sent me a lot of good ones. So I gotta unlock my phone. I hate how it times me out. I need to change that setting. Okay. Hartwell Courtney says, what would you do with no responsibilities for 24 hours? I love this question. That's a great question. I don't think anyone's ever asked me that. I feel like my answer, though, may be a little bit boring. I would seriously check into a hotel, bring like Netflix on my computer, and I would just watch Netflix. I would sleep and I would eat, and that would be it. And it would be like the best 24 hours ever. What would you do for 24 hours with no responsibility? I just think as a mom, I don't take enough time for myself just to rest, and I get like it always gets to the point to where I end up sick and my body like makes me rest. But yeah, that would be awesome. Good question. Okay, Mrs. Lovebug. She says, what is your favorite thing to do when you have free time? Usually my free time is spent working on YouTube, doing a video. Sorry, doing a video, filming something, doing something like that. I'm not sure. Probably in my free time, I would listen to a podcast or watch Netflix or Hulu or something like that. I used to be really good at reading books, and now I just don't make the time to sit down and read a book. I'd rather listen to it on Scribd or listen to a podcast. So, I don't know. I don't have a very exciting answer for that. Sleep, if I could. That's probably my favorite thing to do. Okay. And the same question from Miss Boss 42012. Same thing. What is your favorite thing to do in your free time? I mean, my answer is just a typical mom answer. Sleep. I do like talking to friends and stuff like that. Just, we're all at our stage in our life. Me and my best friend, I feel like we talk to each other here and there, but not very often because we're both so busy all the time. So just the stage of life that we're in. Okay, Ash went keto, says, any travel plans for 2019 or even 2020, Disney cruise, etc. So yeah, we have some travel things coming up. In the first part of June, we're going to the beach with David's side of the family. It's actually David's mom's side of the family. I'm really excited about that. I think it's Destin. Could be wrong. I think it's Destin. Either Destin or Panama City. I think it's Destin. Anyway, we have taken the kids to the beach before. I don't know, y'all. I love the beach. Like, I like to go and walk at night, and I think it's so beautiful. The beach with kids. Nate likes to run from me at the beach because he has found I cannot catch him in the sand. I'm also like really afraid of the ocean with the kids. And then the last few times we've been to the beach, Lucy has screamed because she hates the sand. Now they are a lot older. We haven't been to the beach in a couple years, so they definitely are older. I'm hoping it goes okay. I'm a little nervous about somebody getting hurt. Nate also has a condition that makes him potentially, he's never been stung by a jellyfish, but it potentially makes him more susceptible to an allergic reaction if he were to be stung by a jellyfish or a bee or a wasp or anything like that. And so I have a lot of personal anxiety with my kids getting hurt. And so I'm looking forward to the beach, but I'm also a little anxious about it. So we shall see. And then 4th of July week, my mom and dad, if you know, are on a cruise. Maybe you don't know. If you are new, my mom and dad are around the world, doing an around the world cruise right now. They left right after New Year's and they don't get back till like May. I really miss them. I've talked to them a lot more than I thought I would. Probably once a day or every other day, I've been able to Facebook message them and stuff, and they're having a great time. They just were in New Zealand yesterday, and they're on their way to Australia. I mean, the pictures and stuff are insane. So they're having a great time, but we will be going on a little trip with them to a lake house and just like having fun and being on the lake, and again, more outdoor stuff to kind of make me work through my issues. And because of both of those trips, David and I really wanted to do another cruise or something for our 10-year anniversary. It's this September, but we're taking a trip in June, we're taking a trip in July, and so I just don't think he's going to have the time off to do anything, or time or money to do anything for our anniversary, so I'm not sure. I feel like we should do something, even if it's one night somewhere, but we don't really have any plans for that, but we'll see. We will see. Cruise, I would love to take another cruise, hopefully in at least 2020, but I have no idea. It's a lot of coordinating you have to do when you have kids and you want to take a trip like that. So we'll see. Nikki Hess, Nikki H-E-S, I don't know. I'm probably butchering y'all's names. Do you have any plans to move? So if you don't know, we live in an apartment. We had a house in Texas, and then we moved to a new church in Georgia, which is a lot closer to where we're from in Alabama. So we love it here, but we do not love apartment life. I feel strongly that my kids need a backyard. We need more space. I don't want like a mansion. I don't want a huge house. I just want a simple, 3 or 4 bedroom house, small, but just more room. However, it costs money. We don't make a lot of money, and we're trying to save up. So I'm hoping in the next few years we can, maybe in the next 2 or 3 years. Also, ministry is hard because you don't know 100%, like there's not really like long-term, I don't know how to say this. You can move around a lot to different churches, and I don't like that. I wish we could just stay at one church, and maybe we will. There's no plans for us to leave our church or anything, but there's always room to grow and do new things in ministry. And so, we would want to make sure that when we buy a house that we are 100% or at least confident that we'll be there for a little while. So I am not sure when we will get to move. Even renting a house is more expensive than renting an apartment. Like there's all these extra things you have to pay and pet stuff and all that. And in our area especially, it's kind of hard to find houses to rent. So I am not sure, but God knows. He knows the desire of my heart. And my biggest desire right now is to have a house with a backyard. And I know we will get back there one day. Okay. Somebody else said, this is Armatelli. I am sure I'm butchering that. Will you be looking into purchasing your own home anytime soon? P.S. I love your channel. Thank you so much. Again, same answer. It is definitely our next big goal, and we are saving towards it, but we don't have a lot of extra money to save towards it. So yeah, little by little, we're chipping away at it. Okay. Alex B. How is your new way of eating? You seem happier. I am happier. I don't have a for sure method to share with you guys quite yet. I am still learning. I am still working through a lot of my issues, getting over the last 15 years of dieting, 15 plus years probably of dieting in some sort of fashion. And that has left me having a lot of issues with food, a lot of periods in my life where I restricted, and then periods in my life where I binged, and periods in my life where I felt terrible about myself because of something I ate or how I looked. And God is really dealing on my heart about kind of having diets and food becoming an idol in my life, becoming something that I look to that's going to magically make my life better if I can be on a diet. I mean, I've tried everything and then some, and I'm reading a lot. I'm listening to a lot of podcasts. My favorite right now is It's Not About the Food. It's a podcast by a psychologist, and she's a doctor, and she's also a eating disorder specialist, and it has been fascinating. I would totally recommend that podcast. Also, the book Intuitive Eating, I read it on Scribd. It's not an audio book, it's an actual reading book, so I'm going pretty slow through that. I don't have a lot of time, and it's pretty long, but it's just about dropping the diet mentality and the fact that diets usually make you gain weight, and 95% of diets fail. And then they say 95% of diets fail, and the other 5% that are successful end up with some sort of eating disorder where they don't have the same relationship with food they did before they started dieting. It's just really resonated with me. I really tried to drop the pressure on myself. So for the last few years, I would judge my day based on how good I was on my diet. If I was good on my diet, I felt like I had a good day. If I cheated on my diet, or I didn't follow my diet, or something happened where I binged or whatever, I would go to bed feeling like a failure. It didn't matter what kind of mom I was, what kind of wife I was, what kind of Christian I was, how how I represented God that day. If I had a bad day on my diet, I felt like a failure. And the first thing I would think about when I woke up the next morning is, oh, I've got to have a better day than I did yesterday. And it was a really hard place to live, constantly feeling like I somehow wasn't good enough unless I could lose weight. And I'm not saying that I don't ever want to lose weight. I'm just saying the way I was doing it is not healthy, and it wasn't working. I mean, if something doesn't work, like, why do I keep doing it? So I don't know. I am a lot happier. I've let go of some of the rules and all of the rules and regulations and bad feelings I have about food, and I'm just trying to relax a little bit. I haven't even stepped on a scale in probably 2 or 3 weeks, and I really don't care right now. I'm not having periods of time where I'm inhaling a ton of food, which I definitely think is progress over where I was with binging, restricting. I definitely want to do a full video on this, but I don't feel like I have enough information to give you guys. All I would say is if you are struggling and anything I just said makes somewhat sense to you, definitely check out those resources. If you sign up, I'll leave my link down below for Scribed, and you can read that book. It's called Intuitive Eating by, there's 2 authors. If you type in Intuitive Eating, it comes right up. It's by like Vivian and I don't know, I'm probably butchering their names too. But if you type it into Scribed, it comes right up, and it's really, really good. And then that It's Not About the Food podcast is awesome. So still working on that, but it's going well, and I feel like I'm kind of healing from all of the times I have not looked at food and dieting right. Does anybody else's iPhone not recognize their fingerprint? Mine never does. Okay. Do you get home service? This is Love Always Joanne. Thank you so much, Joanne, for your comment or your question. Do you get home ABA services for Nate? We do not right now at this time. Our insurance does not cover ABA therapy. I would love for Nate to be able to have it, but it is very expensive. We looked into it. I mean, we have gotten it priced out, and it is insane expensive. He did have at-home speech therapy for a while in Texas, and I hated that. I absolutely hated it. It was so hard for them to be in our home. He was so distracted. It was a hard time in our life. It was a really hard season of our life. Lucy was a baby, and it caused Nate a lot of stress. I think if we ever do any more sort of ABA therapy or anything outside of the school, which he does get ABA therapy at school, a lot of his teachers are trained. It's not like specific ABA therapy, but they're all trained in ABA approaches. And if we ever get any sort of outside help again, I will make sure to do it outside the home. It just did not work for Nate, and it did not work for me. And it just became very stressful to have him I don't know. It was too hard to have it at the home. And I know some people love that and some people don't. But I did not like it, and he did not like it. Then that's the reason I did not like it. Okay. But Nate's doing great in his school. Absolutely amazing. He is growing every single day, and I'm not opposed to looking for therapy outside in the future. He does see a neurologist. He does see doctors that guide us in that way, but at this time, it's not a possibility, unfortunately. Okay. A1 Mommy Life. If you had the choice, would you want another child? I've been thinking a lot about this lately, and part of me says yes, and part of me says no way. So if you've missed the story, I had a very difficult pregnancy with Lucy. I will link her birth story down below. I had a condition called ICP. There is a strong possibility I would have it again if I got pregnant again. And it's not like they told me don't ever get pregnant because you will have this condition. It can be managed. However, I don't have the same doctor I did when I was pregnant with Lucy, who was very proactive. Some doctors are not as proactive. And so that scares me. It was a very hard, uncomfortable pregnancy. And I have 2 kids who are older. I just don't know. Also, with Nate's autism, there is a stronger possibility that we could have another child with autism. I mean, it's like, I think 25% chance or something like that. They say if you have one child with autism, you'll have another. I'm very thankful when Lucy was born, I didn't know Nate had autism, because I think I would just feel like, well, I don't know. I didn't even think about the fact that she could have autism when she was born. And I think that would weigh on my mind more now, not because I don't love Nate and don't think that God has a perfect plan, but just, opening our home up to having to care for 2 kids with autism would just be a lot harder. And I would feel like maybe Nate wouldn't get what he needed because my attention would be, divided. And I don't know. There's a lot of unknowns. So I really don't know. Part of me would love to have another baby, and part of me thinks, you know what, we have 2 happy, healthy kids, maybe we're good. So I don't know. For right now in our little apartment, there is no way like the kid would have to be like, you know, in our room. We have a tiny room. I just don't see it happening. The cars we have, I don't see it happening. So you never know, you know, adoption's possible in the future. I don't know. But then I also think even something like adoption opens stress up for Nate, you know, and it would have to be the exact right godlike scenario, because I don't want him to have a harder time. You know, he's just doing really good right now. So who knows? We'll see. That was a long-winded thing, but I have been thinking about it a lot because I've always said I would want 3 kids. Of course, that was before I had a special needs kid. I think Lucy would be an awesome big sister. She would be the best big sister ever, but I don't know, y'all. Okay. 2 more. Tracy09 said, what advice would you give to someone who hasn't found God in their life yet? And that's a really good question. A lot of people talk about finding God, or how do I find God? And it really makes it seem like God is some mystery out there that you have to unlock or like find somehow, or he's difficult to find and you have to track him down. And I would just say to you that God knows where you are. He's with you. It says that he stands at the door and knocks at the door of your heart. And all you have to do is open it and accept him. So I would say all you have to do if you haven't found God is just accept him. He's already there. Be willing to, if you're struggling in your life and you want a relationship with God and you feel like you need peace in your life, you need a purpose in your life, you want to surrender your life to God and have and be saved, have a savior, have a king, and be saved and have a place for eternity, and it's not just about eternity, it's also you're able to have a relationship with Jesus in this life today. And I can't say enough, and it's hard for me to find words to say what God means to me, because there's so many times in my life where I'm like, I don't know how I got through that part of my life, or I don't know how I got through today. It was really hard, but I didn't get through it. Like God helped me through it. He helps me through everything. And I don't know how people live without a relationship with him, but it's not hard. It's not hard to open that door and accept him into your life. He's there. He's waiting. You don't have to find him. He's not some mystery. He loves you and he's waiting on you to just accept him. It's like he hands you the gift, but you have to open it. You're not searching around for the world for the gift. It's right there. You just have to open it and accept it. But thank you so much for that question. And I hope I answered that somewhat where you can understand. It's hard for me sometimes to put into words how much he means to me. Okay. Last question, and I want to say we've answered this before. This is Batty420. I hope I'm saying that right. What do you think Nate and Lucy will grow up to be? I want to say we answered this at a live stream. I don't even remember what we said, because with Lucy, it changes all the time. So Lucy right now says she wants to be an artist. She loves drawing. I also think it's just the stage of life she's in. She loves drawing and art and creating, and oh my gosh, I have to throw away like all of her stuff all the time, because if I kept every single thing she drew, we would have no room in our house. It would just be art piled everywhere. She loves that. I also think she's gonna be a great mom. She's so nurturing. She asks me all the time, like, one day when I have kids, and she's starting to get like, she's a girl and she wants to be a mommy one day, and it's really, really sweet. So I think she'll be a great mom. I also could see her being a teacher. She's very patient. I could see her being a special needs teacher. She is the best little sister to Nate, but she kind of acts like a big sister. She is so nurturing to him. She's so caring to him. She helps him so much. She is like his second mom. I tell her all the time, leave him alone. He has a mom. He doesn't need to, but she wants to help him, and it's so sweet. Nate, I don't know. He is so smart. There is nothing he can't do. He loves, I told David, me and him joke all the time, because we say one day Nate is going to be my editor, because he loves like editing clips, but he would probably make me look crazy, because he loves like all these like crazy filters and edits and quick and slow and all this stuff. I could definitely see him do that. He also loves logos and oh man, math, there is no telling what he's going to do. He's always loved words and reading and stuff. So I don't know, you guys, what do y'all think? What do y'all think? I don't know. It's hard to know, but I do know that God has a plan for them both, and he has a plan for us, and we don't have to worry about it, because they will, you know, fulfill their purpose. But it is fun to think about. And hers changes week to week, but we've been stuck on artists for a while. But anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with me while I waited on the kids. I hope I answered your questions okay, and that you enjoyed listening. Tomorrow, I'm hoping to have my chicken, what am I going to call it? Sour cream chicken enchilada recipe. Oh my gosh, this is probably one of my favorite things I just stumbled upon. I showed you guys in a dinner video, and so many people said, yes, we want to see it. So I'm making them today. I'm hoping to have that out in the next day or two. So be looking for that. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. If you like this one, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. Is that everything? Please subscribe if you're new. Hit that little bell. That's going to notify you when I post a new video. And we'll see you guys all later. Bye.
You and I till the end. Don't need to pretend.